Now, I want to say something about 4K right now, real quick, and that's that, 4K is, for all intents and purposes, a marketing term. It refers to a wide range of different resolutions that the PS4 is itself capable of rendering in 2610 or 2640. 2160p is actual 4K resolution. That is true 4K. The PS4 is capable of outputting at 2160. That said, as you may know if you've been following along, some games are not that say 4K. Yeah. They're not actually running in 38 something by I can't remember the exact dimensions, but they're not actually running in those exact dimensions. They're running in a slightly lower one natively, and then being upscaled or checkerboarded up, which is kind of like a unique upscaling technique that Sony is using is having used on some games in order to achieve a final output of roughly 4K. So it's just important to note that even though it says it's a 4K mode, that does not mean that Rise of the Tomb Raider is natively being rendered at 4K. It might be being rendered at a lower resolution and then scaled up or checkerboarded up. So I just want to be mindful of that. If you're wondering, is this actually natively in 4K? No, it's not. And most games, not many games will natively be 4K, probably most likely. Everyone will use some form of checkerboarding, I would imagine. That said, right now in 4K, if you're watching on YouTube and you're at least getting 1440p, the difference is, you can obviously the frame rate's gone back down to 30, but especially like different details in the rock faces and stuff, it's pretty stark. 4K this game looks quite nice in 4K. And again, the degree to which you recognize that is going to be determined is your eye and how your eye works, whether or not you're watching on YouTube right now, and whether or not you have a monitor that's capable that's outputting at 4K or not. You may see no difference right now at all. But again, check out the VODs afterwards to see the full effect, assuming you have a 4K monitor that you can watch it on, and you decide for yourself. I just think it's really cool that Rise of the Tomb Raider has all three options, and that you can switch between them dynamically mid-game, and then it explains all three options to you. That's how I want to see 4K support go down. By the way, a little bit of a warning: if you are arachnophobic, you do not want to watch this next section.
This is has echoes of Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom.
Exactly, yeah, and it's gonna get pretty hairy. So
this is an awesome game. I'm glad it's finally out on PlayStation 4.
Outstanding game. Outstanding game. And this is one of those games, remember I said I didn't really, some of these games I didn't really play very much or play at all before I had to for this review. Rise of the Tomb Raider is one of them. I'd seen it running on an Xbox One, of course, and I did some comparison for the sake of this review, but I haven't played this game, and having played through this opening hour, half an hour, 45 minutes or so, several times now for the sake of this review, I can't wait to to dig all the way in and play all the way through it.
In order to really appreciate the new 4K visuals, we should really turn on the classic Lara skin. That's really the only way you can fully appreciate how nice everything looks.
How much things have really changed.
Yeah. I actually like the, that was part of the 20th anniversary pack. There's classic Lara skins in there. Unfortunately, you can't use it in the regular story.
Right, correct.
You have to wait till after you beat the game and you're running around the open world. That's like the only time you can use it. It's a little disappointing for me. I wanted to play through the whole game with classic Lara.
Yeah, but these details on 4K on some of the rock faces here really pop. That's the other thing, even if a developer chooses to render natively at 4K or is able to render natively at 4K, even the game itself just might not be something that lends itself super well to that high of a resolution. Honestly, with some games, you turn on 4K, it betrays some of the flaws in the texture work. But what I've seen is that in this game, in Rise of the Tomb Raider, turning on 4K just brings out all the rich, so many more of the rich details that are there. So it really does enhance the experience visually to a very noticeable degree, for me in any case. Yeah, it's especially these rock faces that just make a huge, huge difference. So, Damon, do we have any questions coming in from the audience?
Questions,
yeah, shoot.
about the PlayStation 4 Pro itself, Mike B wants to know. He says, I have a 2 terabyte hard drive in my PS4. If I just replace the one in the Pro with that one, will that be all I need to do? Will it be ready to go?
Ooh, that's a really good question. You know, I didn't try dropping an already formatted or with stuff installed on it hard drive into the PS4. So I don't know for sure. Actually, I'm sorry, I don't have a better answer for that. What I would imagine is that should work out just fine, but I wouldn't want you to 100% quote me on it. That said, even if that doesn't work, with one of the previous firmware updates that Sony did for the PS4, they've added the functionality for transferring data from one hard drive from one system to another.
Yeah.
Though if you have a 2 terabyte drive, I can understand that would be, difficult to do. But what you could do is, if you have a full 2 terabyte drive, you might have to get a little bit fancy in order to do that. Yeah. That wouldn't really help you. Sorry, I was trying to think of a way you can game the system a little bit. But yeah, what I would say is give it a shot. It definitely shouldn't do anything. Nothing bad will happen for sure if you try to do that. I can say that much. But yeah, really, really good question. Sorry, I don't have a better answer.
How about this one? How about Ollie wants to know, can PS4 Pro do true 4K?
Yes. So I kind of, just to reiterate, I did kind of go into this a little bit before. But if you go into the PS4's options, you take a look at its sound and screen settings, the Pro that is, and the Pro allows you to output. One of the options is 2160p, which is full 2160p is full 4K. So yes, absolutely, the PS4 Pro is capable of outputting in full, true 1080 4K. That's 2160p. But that said, results are going to vary depending on whether or not the developer chooses to, whether the developer is able to get their game to run at those resolutions, or if they have to render internally at a lower resolution and then checkerboard up.